Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio Soaps and Review. This is Pam, your host, and joining me today as my co-hosts are David and Carolyn and Casey. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi,
Pam.
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Oh,
Good. We're hanging in there.
Well, I'm freaking out. I called you guys last minute, right before the show started, because my computer crashed the other day. Okay.
Oh no.
Were you guys ever on a computer and all of a sudden get that blue screen?
Yes, that was my last computer.
Okay, well, that's what happened to me. So I tried restoring it and everything, and it restored it to a time when it worked. And now I've lost information, so I'm freaking out here. Like, I'm like, please, not now, especially when I need my, I've got my laptop, but the laptop and the desktop have different information on them, you know what I mean? Depending on what I'm doing. But my main information that I need to do shows and things like that is on the desktop, which is the one that showed me the blue screen and that I'm freaking out about.
Okay. So, am I safe to assume that you're on a computer right now?
Yeah, I'm on my desktop. It restored it to when it was working, but I'm just praying that it stays. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I'm sure our audience doesn't care about that, but some may feel my pain.
Oh, yes. It's a heart stopper.
It is. It really is. I mean, my gosh,
You don't realize how connected you are
to
it. Yes.
Exactly. And you know what? The worst part of it is I've had a backup hard drive, one of those portable ones.
Yeah.
That I kept saying that I was going to use to back up all my stuff in case this happened. And, of course, it's always later. Well, when I got it to restore back to the point it's at now, I plugged that hard drive in so fast you don't even know. And I've got everything backed up now in case, God forbid, that this thing really does crash. And it's not even that old, but I guess in computer years it's old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm very, very excited for tonight's guest. Are you guys?
Yes.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Are you doing cartwheels? I
I
don't
hear
it.
I was.
Let me hear it.
You don't want to hear that.
Well, let me tell our audience, for those that may not know, we're welcoming back actress and producer and writer Jessica Morris, because we had her a few years back on the show. And some of you may recognize her from her role as Jennifer Rappaport on One Life to Live, or from various television and movie roles, such as A Husband for Christmas, the Lifetime movie, The Wrong Roommate, or on a web series like the Daytime Emmy Award-winning series The Bay. But most recently, Jessica is starring in the, oh my God, I love this miniseries. Yeah, that's my words. called Ladies of the Lake, which premiered on Amazon on May 15th, and I'm already addicted. There's only 4 episodes. Talk about a teaser. Not nice.
It's getting great reviews. On social media.
I'm sure it is. It's, it's got soap actors. Come on. Oh, what the heck is his name? Now it just blanked out of my head.
Michael.
When I saw one of the husbands, I'm like, oh, Edmund. It's Edmund from All My Children.
Oh,
what's his name?
Oh, John Callahan.
John Callahan. Oh my God. I love him. And I have missed him. I mean, really hasn't been on many things that I've watched since all my children. And he was always one of my favorites.
So he's back on.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot, basically all soap people on there. So, if you're a fan of soap operas, both past and present, I'd say get on Amazon and watch Ladies of the Lake by Ken Corday, because you are going to love it. And speaking of which, I do believe our guest is on the phone.
I'm here.
Hello, Jessica. How are you doing?
Yes.
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Great. Thank you. We want to say welcome back, because you've been with us before a few years ago. We're so excited to have you back again.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I loved doing it last time, so I couldn't wait to do it again.
You're very welcome. We were just discussing Ladies of the Lake. I mean, come on. 4 episodes, don't do this to us.
I know, it's not enough. I know, that's why we need everyone to, if you do love the series, and leave a positive review on Amazon, and then we're hoping those good reviews can, basically motivate them to make another season, because we want to make one, too. It was so fun.
Right, and you know what? That's what a lot of people may not realize. If they're not used to watching things on Amazon versus web series on, let's say, YouTube or on somebody's website is different. To get more episodes or another season or something like that, you have to leave reviews for Amazon to see that you loved it. Yes.
Yeah, and it's strange because, I'm not the kind of person who normally would write reviews on things. I just don't normally do that, so I get why a lot of people wouldn't. But, I guess that's why it's good to do these kind of, shows to talk to you about it. And if anyone's listening, they can know that, that would really help out. And if that can make us have, more episodes and more seasons, then please do. And I would really appreciate it. Exactly.
And I didn't write reviews for the longest time either. But a few years back, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was somebody's album that I reviewed. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, this is probably nice for the people to see that you love it. And even if it wasn't to get another album or another season or whatever, it's just a nice compliment for them and to show that they're doing a good job and you're happy about it and you want more.
Yeah, I think that's why it's a good thing to do also. I try to do it more now because I think that just, like you're saying, kind of like a pat on the back or just some words of encouragement to people with whatever they're doing is like an easy way to give something to someone, and doesn't cost a thing. So,
right, exactly.
That's a great thing to do.
Exactly. Well, I don't want to give anything away. We haven't spoken about the storyline whatsoever, just about, that there's all soap actors in there and, pretty much all soap actors, and that we love it, and from past and present soaps. Mm-hmm. But what I want to say is, let's just say the husbands.
It's not looking so good for them.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
God, I feel bad for the husbands.
I know, but you know what? They deserve it, though, don't they?
Yes.
They're also despicable.
Yep, exactly. Why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners, what it's about and your role and stuff like that for those who haven't seen it, too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but at the same time, because it started as a novel, I think a lot of people aren't being too shy about, voicing what it's about because between seeing the trailer and if you've read the novel, you pretty much already kind of get a gist of what's going on. It's these 4 main women who live in this very ritzy, wealthy community, and they all have husbands that are slightly controlling or abusive or unfaithful. And one by one, it kind of starts with Martha Madison's character, whose husband has an accidental death. And then others are a little more planned, a little more calculated, but all of our husbands end up dropping dead. And some of us have blood in our hands. Others kind of just assist in helping other women to off their husbands. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's done in a way that has a sense of humor and also is done in a way that all the women have such kind of sad, dramatic backstories, too, that I'm hoping people feel some empathy for them, even though they're doing things that you really shouldn't do in real life, obviously.
Right.
They can not take it too seriously, but also kind of when you get into the fictional story of everything, think, oh, well, I'm kind of glad that they did that. Like, good for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I felt watching it. I mean, it's just like watching a soap or like watching a primetime, drama or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You do feel empathy a lot of times for the person, even though they did something so dastardly, and you think, oh, but you don't want them to go to jail, that kind of thing. So I did get that from it,
I'm so glad. Yeah, I mean, those are the best characters, and sometimes they are the most challenging because you don't want a squeaky clean, perfect, pure character. I mean, sometimes that can be fun to play, but people can't completely relate to those characters, and they're just not as much fun. But when you can play them and you can do it in a way where, you make people still feel a little bit bad for you, then I think that's success.
Exactly. And I myself, if I was ever an actress, I would want to play somebody like that as well. I mean, squeaky clean. There's not one person in this world that can say they're squeaky clean except a baby.
I know. And if they're saying it, then they're lying, right? Which means they're obviously not that great because they're lying.
They're in denial or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
And as much as we love our children, we even know they're not squeaky clean. So, as a parent, I can say that.
Yeah, it's human nature, I guess. We're all just screwed up.
Right. Well, and some of us more so than others, but, that's a different story.
Yeah. You got to have your limit.
Yeah. Well, my co-hosts have some questions for you, so we're going to start with Casey.
Perfect.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Casey. How's it going?
How are you? Oh, it's going good. What about you?
I'm doing great. I'm just, been having a super busy day, but enjoying it. So
I hear that. Every day, you've got airing your lungs is a good day.
Yeah. I agree.
So my first question, you were one of my favorite characters when you were on One Life to Live.
Oh, thanks.
And I was so sad when you left, but I'm happy that you are back in the soap world a little bit when it comes to Ladies of the Lake. So what has it been like reconnecting with those soap roots and keeping them alive?
Yeah, it's been kind of cool and kind of weird because now that Ladies of the Lake has come out and it is, kind of an online soap and in that world again, I had been out of it for a while, and just kind of in the indie film scene and everything. So going back to it and doing these, interviews where people are asking me about One Life to Live, which felt like it was kind of a bit in the past, for me. It's kind of refreshing to think about those days because they were good days for me, and I really enjoyed working on One Life to Live. And I really am reminded how loyal the people that work in the community are and the fans, and there's this kind of secure feeling you get knowing that everyone's rooting for each other and wanting you to do well.
So back in 2011, there was news that devastated the soap world that both All My Children after 41 years and One Life to Live after 43 years were going off the air. So when you heard that news, what were your emotions? Did you have any emotions about hearing that One Life was going off the air?
Well, there had been talk about it and fear about that happening for a while, even, when I was still on the show. So, it wasn't completely out of the blue, I don't think. But I think, I wasn't still on the show, but the people who were, I think it was just very devastating for them because most of them had been working on that show for so long, and so they were out of work. And I think that even though it wasn't completely out of the blue, from what I've heard from the people that were still on the show, it kind of happened quickly, though. It was kind of like, okay, we're done, pack up your stuff, So I just felt a lot of compassion for those people I knew that it would be okay and they would move on and get work and everything would, work out the way it should. But I was definitely, really feeling for the people who were taking a hit right then in their lives.
Well, I know it devastated all of us, especially me, because I watched ABC. That was always my chosen soap opera, genres when One Life to Live and All My Children in General Hospital. And, yes, there had always been rumors, but with it happening like that, and, we thought that All My Children went down. We thought One Life to Live was safe because it was doing so well.
Yeah.
And when that got chopped, oh, my gosh, the uproar in the soap community went on for years. And, we tried every which way to save it, but there's unfortunately, nothing you can do at that point.
Yeah, it's completely out of your control, and I feel like it was kind of a mistake, but, if there's nothing you can do about it, you just have to move forward.
Yeah, I know. And that's what we've done, and we're trying, like I tell everybody, keep watching the soaps that are on, because if you don't watch them, they're eventually going to die off as well.
Yeah, true.
And CAROLYN, it's your turn.
Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Good. Good. Very good. You've done a great job of transitioning from soap operas to movies like a Lifetime movie. So I commend you on that. That's very good transition.
I really appreciate you saying that. Thanks. It's not an easy business, so I appreciate your encouragement.
Yes, you're welcome. I read that you competed with Ari Zucker for the part of Clara. Is that correct? On Ladies of the Lake?
Correct. I had mentioned in an interview before that they were considering me at first for her role, the role of Clara. But then after some consideration, everyone kind of agreed that I was a better fit for Crystal. So I never really actually competed against her or auditioned against her, anything like that. It was more a thing of her schedule and her availability and just who they thought was right for which role. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how did you connect as Crystal? Because they're quite different, right? Clara and Crystal?
Oh, they're very different. Clara is just so much stronger and more like a businesswoman. And Crystal is a lot more vulnerable and a lot more, she was more in a desperate kind of situation. So, I'm really glad that it worked out the way that it did. I think that Clara is a great role too, and I think that Ari did an amazing job. She's such a good actress and everything. But I am so happy that I ended up where I did in that role of Crystal because, I really did kind of relate to her in different ways. Feeling like you're just taking things and trying to be strong but kind of internally falling apart and just wanting to hold it together for the people around you. I can relate to that. Maybe that's a little too personal, but you asked, so yeah.
So it worked out well for you. Oh, okay, good. And I saw the Hollywoods. It's a comedy.
Oh, you did? Right.
Yeah. Yes, and it was released on your birthday. Is that correct?
It was. Yeah, such a great birthday present.
Now, because of that movie, how close is it to the real you on becoming an actress? Did you believe in your dreams?
It kind of reminded me, just her naivety and everything. It reminded me of how I was when I first started acting. But I did have a little more faith in myself than the character of Peach in that movie does. She gets a little too discouraged. I have had a lot of moments over the years of, feeling that way. I think there was one time where I just, packed up my bags and went back to Florida. Actually, I put all my stuff in storage because I hadn't booked anything in a while. I went back to Florida, and I said, I'm just moving back. I'm going to be close to my family, and I'm just done with this business. But I was putting auditions on tape while I was there, and I only made it there for 2 months, and then I came back out. And that's when I decided, you know what, even if it's a challenge for the rest of my life, it's what I want to do, so it's worth it for me to basically die trying. even if I never get to the level of success that I want, just doing it is enough. So that's kind of what I decided. So I can relate to her with moments like that. But when I first started, I kind of had this blind drive, like this blind faith in myself that didn't really come from anywhere because I had done no acting except for some plays and like a commercial. Sometimes I would go in the room. I met my first agent. I had nothing but plays on my resume. She's like, "Are you ready to be thrown out there?" And I was like, "Yes, send me out for everything." So she sent me out for so many great TV shows. I remember I read for Gilmore Girls and Dawson's Creek and like all this stuff at the time, series regular roles, and I had no clue what I was doing. I mean, I went in there and I stunk up the room, But I was so sure that I was going to just be fine, and I was eventually, but I had a lot to learn.
Well, we're glad that you hung in there. That's great.
Thanks.
Most definitely.
Me too.
Thank you, Casey and Carolyn. And David, you're next.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
I got one up. Which actresses in the film industry have inspired you in your ongoing career?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you know what I kind of miss is like I don't feel like people really do a lot of like romantic comedies anymore. Because growing up, there was always the women that were like the America's Sweetheart types, like the Julia Roberts who did all those like My Best Friend's Wedding and all those like romantic comedies that I love so much. And they're just so charming and sweet and fun and quirky, and I love stuff like that. I think that I've always loved Cate Blanchett. I think she's such a chameleon, and I love it when I see an actress that doesn't play the same role in everything, that just kind of changes with each role. And that is harder to do. I mean, you have to really know what you're doing to be able to do that. And I think that the longer I've been acting, I'm trying more so to do that, as much as possible, to see how can I make this character different than the last one I played and things like that. Yeah, I think she's definitely one that I look up to.
And I'm with you on those romantic comedies. I just absolutely love all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched the same ones over and over because they never get old to me,
I know. They just make you feel good.
Exactly. I'm sorry, David. Go ahead with your second question.
No, that's all right. They really feel good. They feel good. They don't give you any tension. They give you a nice, warm feeling.
I know. Life is stressful enough, right? When I go home, I just want to have a glass of wine and watch something romantic and sweet and fun.
Exactly.
Or something about women who are killing their husbands.
Yeah. That works too.
So my next question says you have now worked under Crystal Chappell on Beacon Hill, Gregory Martin on The Bay, the series, and Michael Caruso on Ladies of the Lake in the digital series field. How has each of these producers brought out the best in your performances?
Wow. Michael really helped me. Michael Caruso, he helped me with what I was talking about trying to find very distinct characters. Because when I played Crystal, he made sure. I remember him stopping me and saying, make sure she's very dainty. Don't make her too strong or too, focused. She's a little more, soft-spoken and demure and graceful. And so he kind of led me down that path and helped me with that. And I remember Crystal Chappell, she actually helped me by really making me focused in that role. I was supposed to be, in love with Alicia's character, and so she helped me to kind of realize I needed to be so focused on her and everything she was saying because I was so in love with her. And when you're really into somebody, you're just very enamored with everything that they say. So she helped me to kind of bring that performance out in that way. And then Gregory's just so fun. When you're on his set, can play and have a great time and try different things, and he just kind of has that flexibility. So that's great too.
It's great that you can learn from different directors and producers and everything. You know, everything's
Absolutely.
not the same. So that gives you variety as well.
Yeah,
and
every
you grow as
experience
an actress.
is different. Yeah, I love that. I mean, I feel like when I can grow and learn, it makes me a better actress, a better person, and that's what I love about the industry.
Right.
It keeps you fresh, and it doesn't get stale for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so that you can never be too cocky, because you can show up to any set and it's just a completely different thing. And, you know, everything that you knew before can get, you know, completely erased because it's just a different setting, different situation. And you go in just with an open mind, and you never know what you're going to come up with.
Exactly. Well, I have to tell you that I love everything you do. I love Lifetime movies and Hallmark movies and the movies on the Iron Channel, which is, you know, similar to the Lifetime movies and that. And we get to see a lot of the people that we've watched throughout the soaps, you know, when they transition into TV or movies and that in prime time. And you starred with Jason Shane Scott, and you were in The Wrong Student and Husband for Christmas. What's it like playing with him as a different character versus him being your brother, you know, on Life to Live after all these years?
Yeah, it is. It was really kind of weird because, you know, it had been a while ago, but he was like my brother, you know. It felt like he was my brother. So to have to kiss him was just definitely, I mean, he's such a handsome guy, so you'd be like, what's your problem? Enjoy it, you know. And he's so nice, too, but I'm like, I'm kissing my brother, so this is not okay.
Well, I'll tell you, even though, you know, I knew he played your brother, because you both are such strong actors, I didn't see him as your brother in the movie. So you pulled it off. You know, it didn't give me that yucky feeling. So
yeah, I remember there was like one day on set where I was like, I'm just going to flirt with him all day just so we can get into character and I can just, you know, build our chemistry. And so he was kind of, he looked at me a couple times like, what is she doing, you know? Because I kept just being like, hey, Jason, what are you doing? And, like, I was kind of forcing it just to help with our scenes, but I think he thought I was a little crazy.
Yeah. Why is she giving me Google eyes? What is going on here?
Like, why did she
drink that
like
wine before?
Are you okay? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, my gosh. I could just imagine.
Yeah.
Well, you also have quite a few new projects coming out that have either been completed or they're in pre- or post-production, including Crabs, Don't Let Them In, The Sixth Degree, and many more. Is there anything you can tell us about any of them and your character that you play?
Let's see. About Crabs. I don't know when Crabs is coming out, but I play a science teacher in Crabs, and it's like a horror comedy where these mutant crabs like wash up on the shore of the Mendocino, and we shot in Mendocino, and it was just hilarious. Like, there's all this like blue blood that's supposed to come from these crabs that got radiation, and we're trying to kill all of them. There was this one scene where I got to basically use a folding chair like a bat and just strike one in the air. And then right when I hit him, there was so much fake blood on the ground that I actually slipped and fell.
Oh,
and
my
I'm hoping
God.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because it really hurt, but the director was like, that was so perfect. It was just so hilarious. Because I'm like, oh, die! And then I fell. But yes, that one's funny. And I'm actually shooting another Lifetime one next week. I'm doing another one of the Wrong movies. It's called The Wrong Man.
Oh, my gosh. That makes me so
yeah.
happy. That makes me so happy. I love those movies. I'm addicted to Lifetime and all of them, so I'm looking forward to that. Who else is in it, can you say?
It was supposed to be, I think, Jason, but he's out of town, possibly shooting something else. So, because this director always uses the same people, and so I think Vivica Fox is going to be in it again, playing my friend.
Love her.
And I'm not sure of the other. I'm not sure of the other cast members yet. I guess I'll find out on Monday.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm very, very happy. Congratulations. Keep it going.
Keep it posted on Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
Pardon?
I'll post photos.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Since finishing your role on One Life to Live, you've worked steadily as an actress, but you're also an executive producer and writer on the upcoming short Claire, and also executive producer on an episode of the TV series Viral. What's it like working as a producer and writer, and is this something you'd like to do more of?
I have always loved writing, and I just, in the last few years started writing scripts. Claire was my first short film script that I wrote, and we shot it, but we're not completely happy with it, to be honest. So we're going to and we wanted to make it into a feature. So I'm in the process right now of actually writing the feature-length version of that before I'm going to, release it or anything like that. Producing, I'm not. I like creating my own material. I'm not as fond of producing, I have to be honest, because I like the creative aspects of writing and acting. But when I have to, go out and try to get money to do a project or organize everything, I can do it, but it's not my forte. It's as far as I'm not very organized, and I'm not good at asking people for money.
Yeah.
But I can sit and write a script for 10 hours a day and be just the happiest girl in the world. So yeah, and Viral, I didn't write. I just produced with Melissa Archer and Sonia Blangiardo, and we just had a blast doing that. That was just a little web series that we did. And I think the thing I'm most excited about with my new writing career is my first feature-length script that I wrote, which is a drama thriller type, probably TV movie. That is going to be produced in August. We're shooting for 3 weeks in either Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Louisiana. And yeah, so I'm considered one of the producers, but I'm not the main producer on this, so I don't have to do all the hard stuff. And,
yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm just really excited because I'm starring in it, and then it was the first one I wrote, so it's kind of cool.
That's amazing. Again, congratulations.
Thanks.
Awesome.
You need to really be very proud of yourself for all that you're accomplishing.
I appreciate you saying that, and I think that, I've been acting for a while, but the writing is new to me, so it is kind of that feeling when I signed the contracts to do this project. It was the same feeling that I got when I booked my first acting job years ago. I was very proud of myself and just so excited for this new chapter. I mean, I started writing this story about 3 years ago, so to see it, I feel like I really know these characters. To see it actually happening is just pretty exciting, yeah, overwhelming.
Right. And you're going to be in it, right?
Yeah, I'm the lead female.
Okay, well, I would hope so. When you write something, if you're an actor, I would hope you put yourself in it,
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not going to write it for other people to play.
I'm sure there are writers out there that do that, but we know you can act,
yeah.
so.
Maybe eventually. Maybe sometimes I'll write myself a smaller part, but right now I'd rather be the lead.
Yeah. Did you ever think of writing a book, or is just like screenplays and things like that is what you want to do?
I really like writing screenplays. I like that format, and I think I know it really well. When I first started, I was very surprised at how kind of easily it came up for me, because I think I've read so many scripts, over the past, so many years that it was kind of ingrained in me more than I even realized. Right.
And again, with being on a soap and you have to learn so many lines and you know how the back and forth goes, that it probably really helped you even now in your career.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and, writing definitely helps my acting because it helps me to see the big picture, not just, from my own character's perspective, but I can see how that character works in the whole story.
Right,
more.
Exactly. Well, I think that we're done asking questions. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
I think we covered a lot. You guys were very thorough.
Thank you. We try to be.
Yeah, great questions. It was so fun.
Thank you. Well, we welcome you back anytime, and please definitely keep us informed. As you can tell, I'm a tweetaholic when it comes to promoting different things.
You are. I feel like I'm so bad at Twitter. I'm like, I need to retweet this. I need to do this. You're great at it.
Thank you. It's just something that I feel strongly about, and I know that there's a lot of fans out there that would love to see different things that, again, are soap, actors and actresses are in, even if they're no longer on a soap now. We're very loyal to the, no matter where you go, you're going to find us. So we're always peeking over your shoulder.
So appreciated. It's just... It makes you feel like you're not alone in it, so it's great. It makes just makes things so much easier.
Just as long as you don't feel like we're stalkers, that's all.
Yeah, stalking's never a good thing.
The tweets were off the chart for Ladies of the Lake. The fans were coming in, and I said, Jessica needs to tweet. Yes, I said, this girl's got to tweet more. The fans are in there loving Ladies of the Lake.
Yeah, I need to tweet more about that.
Definitely. All right, we will let you go.
Anything up and coming. Yep.
All right, thanks, guys, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm so excited that there's more stuff coming out, especially with the Lifetime. Like I said, I'm addicted to that channel. Any of you guys watch it?
Me too. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do at times.
And I love when they do, like, those series of movies.
Yeah.
Like she said, she's making another one in this series, and I just love those series.
I do, too. There a lot of people would look at them, and even myself, just like the Hallmark movies and that, they're kind of cheesy because you know how it's going to end. But it's still so good that you have to watch it, right? Did I explain that right?
Yeah, the quality.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there.
Carolyn, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
No, the quality definitely is there.
Yeah, they're well made.
Yes.
And I guess by cheesy, I guess it's because, all of them are along the same line. And maybe cheesy is not even the right word.
You kind of know how it's going to end, but the Lifetime movies, there's twists and turns. It is a different format.
There's something that keeps you watching it in each movie, and you think there are the twists and turns where you don't think there would be, but then there are, and you think you got it down pat. Oh, that guy's the murderer. No, he's not.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Just like, I guess, any other kind of mystery that you watch. It's the same thing. Yeah. And like with the Hallmark Channel, I watch a lot of the Christmas movies. And you always know there's going to be a happy ending, but you still watch it. So, and it's great to see a lot of our soap people on all of these movies, and that's another thing that draws us to them. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And, we have an upcoming guest next week that likes to have soap people in her movies. And so with new projects coming up, we're going to see more. And so far I've seen Days of Our Lives people in her movies. So we'll discuss it next week, though. And I'm looking forward to that. And we're going to have a show on Monday as well. And I believe we're cemented in that, so I'll go ahead and say it's going to be Lawrence St. Victor and Carla Mosley. And it's going to be a little bit later in the evening because they're both available at that time. So it's 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific, unless something changes. But otherwise, watch for the link for that. And we're going to discuss their careers as well as they're raising money to make more of their web series called Wedlocked, which is hysterical. So, to all of our listeners, go on to Amazon.com if you haven't seen Ladies of the Lake yet, and watch that, and please leave a review on Amazon. And for Wedlocked, the series, you have to go to, Seed and, you know what, let me look real quick. Well, go on to YouTube, first of all, if you haven't seen season 1 of it. Seed and Spark, thank you, Casey. I think you're the one that said that. Go on to YouTube and watch Wedlock, the series under Lawrence St. Victor Productions, I believe. It's really funny. You're going to love it. And you're going to see these two characters different than what you see on Bold and the Beautiful. So, and you can also look for the link for the campaign on Take Two Radio or Take Two Radio Soaps in Review on Twitter. So, but that's about it for me, guys. So I'm going to let you go, and you guys go ahead and discuss the soaps. And hopefully in the maybe next month, I'll be able to join you to talk about some of them. I'm hoping that my schedule clears up a little bit where I'm able to do that because I missed discussing them with you guys.
Well,
Sounds
we
good.
look forward to having you.
Yeah, we miss you.
Thank you. Thank you. I miss you guys too. I haven't even gotten to do that many with Casey, and I love hearing your perspective on the soaps as well.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, guys, have fun, and we'll talk again soon. I'll let you know what's going on for Monday as soon as I hear, but I think we're okay with that one.
Okay.
Oh, and Carolyn, are you joining us?
On the Monday night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try.
Okay. Just let me know. It's okay if you can't. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll just be me and David, and like the good old days. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Bye. Well, hi, guys.
Hi, David. That was a fun interview.
Ya?
My goodness.
That was very nice. She's very nice.
Yes.
It was nice.
And
it's nice when they come back.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't had her. I think it's been about 2 years ago. We had Jessica. I think.
She sounds very young. How old is she? Do you know?
Oh, she's in her 30s.
No, it's young. That's young for.
Yeah,
my
she's
goodness,
in her 30s.
she's very, very accomplished for being 30. My goodness, yeah.
Very,
and
very
to be a
accomplished.
screenwriter screenwriter, producer. Wow. And she said she almost got out of the business. She was so discouraged. Well, good
now
for her.
Better.
Yep. As they say, when you're at the lowest and the worst, you hang in there, and things will change.
That's true.
She said she had a lot of faith in herself. So there you go. Very good.
Very complex.
Yeah.
Okay, Carolyn, I want you to hang in there because Days is coming up second.
Okay.
And it's going to be a quick one. So, Casey, you with me?
Yes, I am.
B&B, The Shot.
Goodness.
Did you see it today?
I didn't see any soaps today, but I can give you my thoughts on what I think of Cray Katie Logan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Goodness. Yeah, it's stressing me out, honestly. feel like I'm not invested in this Quinn and Ridge story right now because it was just a kid, and that it's not like they had this long, drawn-out affair. I feel like the stakes aren't high enough.
The stakes aren't that high. But in Katie's eyes, they are.
Well, I feel that Katie is projecting the anger that she still has for Brooke after all these years onto Quinn. So I think this anger Katie is feeling towards Quinn is definitely leftover anger from Brooke sleeping with Bill.
That might actually be.
Because you can't kill your sister.
I don't doubt that at all.
So I think it's leftover anger.
I think it's leftover anger, and because it seems a little over the top that she would get so upset over getting fired.
Yeah. And I don't, Katie went off the rails for a while with her depression, but it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
Katie's depression was more of, how am I going to get my life back on track, and how am I going to be a good mother for my son? This is kind of like going into the Sheila Carter territory a little bit.
Oh, I hope she doesn't flip out, but I don't know. I have to say though, I don't think Katie did that. I don't think Katie did shoot.
No, I don't.
There's somebody else out there.
Really, it's all just too weird right now. It feels like they're trying to pull us in a million different directions with a story that's not there yet. If you wanted to make the stakes high, then Ridge and Quinn should have had relations by now. It's either do that or do away with the disgusting story. I mean, you have to go one route or the other, or else your audience is going to check out, no matter how dramatic you make it, no matter how campy you make your drama. Viewers are going to check out if the stakes aren't high enough, and right now that's it. I mean, I won't check out, but, I can't speak for the other 3 million people who watch with me.
Yep, exactly. And there, I don't know, I've gotten a little thing that there are rumors swirling that Heather's going to leave. Have you heard anything positive or concrete?
I heard this, this rumor started a while ago, even close to the end of last year, and it was when she guest starred on The Talk for about a whole week, and people were like, oh, is Heather leaving for The Talk? And, she denied it and everything, but you never know. Jean Passanante denied leaving General Hospital. Now here we are 2 weeks after that rumor, and she's leaving and retiring from soaps altogether. So anything can happen at the drop of a hat, and I think somebody that I heard last week said it is okay to have a beginning, middle, and end to a character. And if we need the beginning, middle, and end to a character, then that's okay. So if this is Katie's end, then that's fine.
You're okay with Katie leaving the show?
I mean, story-wise right now, yes, because we're getting down to the point where we're giving Heather Tom a story that she doesn't deserve. Heather Tom, with her acting abilities, in my opinion, deserves the best material on that show. And, if it's not there, it's not there. And if you can't come up with new ideas for a character, then you're going to have to write them out. The one thing I ask is that they don't sideline her for a couple of months and then bring her back. If you can't come up with anything new, then throw it away.
Or at least let her take a break, and maybe once something does come up for her, then you can bring her back.
Yeah, if Brad Bell has to go in a conference room with his writing team and they have to sit down with a whiteboard and a black expo marker drawing a new story for Katie out, then do it. And, I know Bold, they've never really been a soap to create a bunch of new characters, and they're more of set in stone with who they've got for long periods of time. But if you have to bring on somebody new for her on contract, then do it.
I hope they find something very rewarding for her, because you can really nail it down, and you don't mix words, but I think you've said it perfectly. She needs something more fitting.
Yeah. I mean, this is Heather Tom. This is the only actress who has won Younger Actress, Supporting Actress, and Lead Actress Emmys. Like, if you can't give anything to an amazing, I think it's 4 Emmys now, maybe 5, but if you can't give anything to a woman who's won that many Emmys, when I can think of 20 stories off the top of my head, then, let her go, because Heather deserves better story material.
Absolutely. And she can always work behind the scenes, too. I know that she's had a chance to do that.
Mhm. Definitely.
Maybe they just need the fresh air to get some fresh air and help move the rest of the stories along, and then you can always bring her back when something's suitable, much more suitable.
Yeah. Speaking of fresh air, I am loving that new Forrester Mansion balcony set. I think that's so cool.
Oh, didn't you? Did you like that?
I did. I thought it was it's something different. Bold usually keeps things indoors, and it's just nice, I think, for an actress or actor to get out there and do something different from the one-on-one living room scenes.
I know. Now, you didn't see it today, right? Is that what you told me?
No, I did not. I didn't see any soaps from today.
You didn't see any today? Okay.
Any today. I came home and threw myself into exam reviews for school.
Yeah, I know. I remember that well, yes. So the big thing is, like we were talking about, the shot happened, and so Ridge reported it, and they're blaming Katie for shooting that at Quinn. Quinn has been dumb, and she actually went over to her house to confront her about it. And, of course, Katie's calling her nuts. And then she finds the telescope. Quinn finds the telescope. Have you been spying on me? And then they have that argument. So eventually...
was Quinn shot, or was she shot at?
She was shot at. Right above her head.
Okay.
On the balcony.
They should have did the actual shot. Come on, Bold and Beautiful. Take some darn risk.
It just showed a gun. It didn't show Katie with the gun. It showed that gun going off. That's it.
Yeah, and it showed somebody with the black glove on. I remember that in yesterday's show.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I really, Katie... I don't think she knows how to work a gun. That's the thing. And I don't think Katie is that skilled on target, and it seems too easy, unless this really is the end of Heather Tom on Bold, and then it would be this easy. But for now, not knowing if it's her ending time, it just seems too easy. But the only other person who was near her house would have been Ivy.
But I can't see her doing it either.
No, maybe I don't. This is either A, Heather Tom's end, B, we're bringing back an old villain, C, it was somebody else, or the final option, we have a Katie imposter.
Well, was it your site that reported? No, it wasn't. There's speculation that it's Deacon Sharp.
Oh, I didn't even think of him.
There's speculation. I can't tell you where. I just know that I saw it online, and that's what some of the people are thinking, that it's him. And I don't know if it's true. It's just speculation at this point. But he's the one with the grudge.
Yeah, and I really miss Deacon, and I miss his really bad and devious ways, and I hope it is Deacon. That would be a really fun story to tell, and a really good climax to a really not so great storyline. So
So that was what today, and the rest is a lot happened. There was a little glitch in Lizzie's adoption.
Of course, there was. Oh my! First of all, before I hit on Bold anymore, I will say that I do like having the Avons back in front burner story.
Yes.
Because I've missed seeing Carla Mosley, and I just love Rain Edwards to death. I think she's such a great young actress, and so I'm glad that they're back on front burner. I'm just not sure this whole Lizzie thing is the right option to go. I think, Nicole's pregnancy, can't get pregnant story thing was a good idea, but the problem I have with the whole Lizzie thing is we had Julius, and Julius is having weird conversations with Nicole that I don't ever think a father should have with his daughter, and
he's getting a little touchy.
Yeah, and we're kind of turning Julius back into the transphobia man that he was when he found out Maya was a transsexual, and I don't like the route they're going with that part of the story.
Yeah, and I don't know what exactly it was. I think Carter said there was a typo, and things had to be rewritten and have to be re-signed. It's like only grammatical errors or something like that, but they weren't considered legal since they weren't written properly.
Well, so the thing is, I get they're trying to do this for story purposes, but it's been how long since Lizzie's been born and adopted by Rick and Maya? So by now,
about a year.
So this incident by now would have been caught. And I know you can expend some real-life thoughts when it comes to a soap, but it's almost been a year. This would have been long caught by now and long brought to a lawyer's attention.
Yeah, and I think it's only for the purposes if Nicole changes her mind.
Mm-hmm. But
do you see that happening?
Honest, I think, and I really hope this doesn't happen, but I think they're making Nicole a little cuckoo crazy under the hands of Julius, and I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope that we just get this story squared away and that Rick and Maya get their baby just for them. And I don't know, Nicole gets pregnant or something. But it's a little irritating because I can't suspend that much belief even for a soap.
Yeah, I have to agree. So are you ready for Days of Our Lives? I think Carolyn is. Carolyn's ready for Days of Our Lives. Carolyn, are you heartbroken that it's not on today or tomorrow because of the French Open?
Yeah, well, the French Open and the the Comey interrogation. That's all that's been on. So no days.
Let me ask you this: in daytime, who in the hell is turning on their television to watch people hit balls all day across the court and watch an FBI director who, frankly, nobody probably knew his name until he was fired?
Yes. Well, on social media, everybody is screaming. They say, why do they always interrupt, the soap's days, especially?
Yeah.
And I don't want to go on and say, well.
Somebody comes home for their lunch break. They're looking to watch their soap or their talk show.
Yes. Well, that's why they interrupted. I mean, it could
not
be
their
on,
FBI man.
And it is on the sports channel. I realize that, but it's not fair, and the fans are very upset.
No. And I'm sorry, but I don't want another O.J. Simpson. My Lord, I mean, just let the soaps. Just let them go through their cycle. Let us watch our soaps. We can get all, Scott Pelley has his time for 30 minutes to fill us in on this, investigation and trial. And, well, not Scott Pelley anymore, but, there's other times of the day.
Yeah, they're all salivating. I mean, it's keeping them in a job, I guess.
Yeah, let's just watch Jungle Madness and...
Let's just watch Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
Amen to that.
So.
Because actually, have you been watching Days?
I have.
Well, I think
24/7.
I'm not really. I wasn't keen on the island. The island disaster.
No, let's put a take on the island. From what I heard, this is almost like a remake of maybe 20 years ago.
Yes. That's why I was saying on Twitter, why is here we go again. But I'm liking the part with Paul, because he's always so nice and sweet, and I guess he's got the jungle fever, and
he's got the jungle fever.
Gabby. Yes, he hit Gabby over the head, and then
he tried to knife Eli.
Yes, and Sonny can't believe.
The one thing I did not want Days to do during this island story was bring back Jungle Madness. I have been a pusher to say this story should have stayed in the Days vault. I'm all for history, but when it's this stupid of the history, let's just keep it where it was back in 1993.
Well, I agree, but if it's going to bring out some acting skills with some of them, especially Paul, that's how it ended the other day. He had that, look in his eye, and they're all just so shocked. So that's
Days better not kill another day. That's all I can say. Days kills their days.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's coming now. What I heard is this is the island story's going to go in, going to go right through July,
For the love of Jesus Christ.
In July.
They are going to drag it in.
And Ron's work, I guess, is taking care of that.
Oh, okay. And when has he started writing yet, or is he going to pick it up until? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he started writing.
Already started.
His material just hasn't aired.
But we haven't seen his work yet.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he helped sum up that island mess.
Oh.
I think that was the beginning of his. If this is going through into July, and I think, am I right? Does Ron's work start in July?
Yeah, end of July, early August is what we're looking at.
Oh, so it's all going to coincide. Now, what does everyone think of Dario and his his scheming?
Honestly, it's such an old-fashioned soap plot line, and every time I see it, I'm like, really? This is every storyline for every Latino on daytime. There's at least one. It happened on The Bold and the Beautiful. It happened on Young and Restless. It happened on General Hospital. It happened on As the World Turns. Guiding Light, All My Children, My Life to Live. May I go on?
You may.
I'm like, is this really what we're doing? I think, honestly, I really do think it comes to a point where this is actually such a disrespectful story to tell, because it's so cheesy, and it makes people think, this is not the era of storytelling where we need to put Latino actors in a bad light, because they're basically saying Dario wants to stay here illegally. Oh, but here's a blonde bimbo who he can marry.
Yeah. And his father's in prison. I mean, it's the stereotypical. It's not, and I agree.
Just to clarify, by blonde bimbo, I'm talking about the character of Abigail, not Marcy Miller. Love you, Marcy. Nobody better come after me on Twitter saying, "Oh, did you call Marcy a blonde bimbo?" No, this is Abigail.
The part that she's playing.
Her part in it. I'm hoping she has second thoughts, and she doesn't go through with.
Are they going to bring up her mental illness again? Is that going to creep in, because Hope's trying to convince her, and her mother's trying to convince her, and she's just not thinking clearly, really.
Well, what I love is the scene between Abigail and Jennifer. I believe it was last week or earlier this week, and Abigail was like, "Will you stand by me?" And Jennifer was like, "No. This is wrong." Yeah. However, it's a little contradictory considering Jennifer stuck with her through the whole EJ affair thing. Just throwing that out there.
Yes, the the fans have been bringing that up. Everyone's forgotten that how conniving she was. I mean, the new Abby seems just too sweet. They have to make her a little bit, a sinister side, a little, stronger, I think.
Yeah, I think putting some color side was definitely stronger.
Yes.
Put in some color. Well, I'm hoping that they do. It would be nice to give her that edge back, like she had when she was, when she was with Betty Ben in the bed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really hope some of her edge comes back when Sammy comes back.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for. Can either of you tell me the what's his name that played Ben?
Robert Scott Wilson.
Oh, that's right. He's on the road traveling with the other actors. He was in Toronto, I think, last week with And now, why is he on the road with the other actors? I mean, is he going to come back? Is he still on staff, or it's just that they like him?
They like him.
Yeah, I know
really?
that usually
he's a favorite.
They'll bring on a Days alum for these road trip things, and I know a couple Days events where people pay a lot of money. You know, they'll bring out a special cast actor that everybody loved, but you know, if he is coming back, I will let you know. But I haven't heard anything.
Oh, I was surprised they had Vincent there, and who else was there? There were 4 of them, and they were having a really good time. You're
talking about they had Eric Martsolf, Billy Flynn, Vincent Irizarry, and Robert Scott Wilson.
Yes, and their personalities in real life they seem so different.
I would hope so.
I
don't want no bad walking around.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised at Billy Flynn. I thought he was a little bit more dynamic. Maybe it was just the clip that I saw.
Probably. It might have been.
The really outgoing one was Eric, which surprised me. But I can't wait to. You two have been to these meet and greets, correct?
I've never met, not to a Days one. I've been to a General Hospital one.
Oh, and Casey would have.
Yes, I've never met a soap star, which is so funny because I've interviewed like 9 of them.
But never met them in person.
Correct. You know, my dream is to meet Mara West because if you stalk me on Twitter or Facebook ever, she's my favorite actress ever. Love her. So fingers crossed that happens one day.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to see when Vincent Nazari first came on. He was down here in I think it was in Tampa. But I heard about it too late, and I missed him by I think 2 days. I was very, very disappointed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did you see he's selling a house?
Yeah.
Where?
He's doing a little real estate.
Yeah, I can't believe he's a real estate agent now. I saw that on Cassie DePaiva's Facebook, and I was like, oh.
Oh. Huh.
And the house is gorgeous.
No, I'm sure. And where is it?
Oh, I forgot, but, it's a very gorgeous house, and in my eyes, it should be like $2 million for the price tag, but it's like $300,000.
Yeah, but where is it that he's selling it? What area?
Know. I totally forgot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay.
So, what do you think? Should we all give Chloe the finger for taking Holly away from Nicole when she went to see Eric? When she went to see Brady?
Well, honestly, I'm tired of blaming Chloe, and honestly, I don't blame her anymore just because Nicole is boring me to tears these days. With her tears. So, Chloe, this, you can be mad at her all you want, but at the end of the day, the judge did
She is
choose
the baby's
her
father by law. She's the baby's mother by law.
And, Nicole, yes, you are biological, but honestly, honey, girl, it's time for you to let Daniel go. It's just let go. And so Chloe is that mother to that child legally. And, honestly, it does not matter biologically anymore. This is who is set to raise Holly.
Well, as a mother, I feel Chloe has her. She has the one. She has the little boy. Give Nicole
who we never
a break
see anymore.
and hopefully this is the way Nicole is going to exit the show. I'm hoping that she'll get the baby and go off to France or somewhere.
Well, we do keep seeing Nicole into September, so we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. But
I don't know
without the speed, did we
cover little Holly and her miracle?
Oh, goodness. If you ever have seen a soap, everybody saw it coming from a mile away. They were never going to let Brady Black die.
No, we pretty well knew that, but they were playing
we never know,
to the hilt. Yeah. You never know what's going on behind the scenes.
I mean,
we never know.
My goodness. As soon as that baby sat on his chest, I was like, here we go.
Well, I thought it was Go ahead, Carolyn.
I have to say, on days they find the most beautiful children. I don't think
they do.
Did you see the face on Holly? I said, "Oh my goodness, here's another beauty." I don't know where they get them.
I mean, she could melt a heart, no pun intended.
And the little girl that used to play Sierra, I think she's doing a movie. She's a little sweetheart. She probably was on there the longest before they turned her into a teenager. She was
so adorable.
Yeah, she was, and Ariana. Oh my goodness. They pick beautiful children.
They do. Anything? Let me see. What should we cover? We did Paul. What's in my notes? Okay.
Oh, I feel bad for Marlena. Here
John?
we go again. He's. Yeah, they're rekindling, and now they're sending the helicopter. Oh no!
Everyone wants to go looking for the people on the island.
And there's poor Marlena. She's going to be abandoned again.
I did like Marlena.
Because he has to go back. But he's dissing the ISA for trying to go save Paul and the...
It's just convenient that now Paul's son is, he's got to go and save Paul.
It looks good next week.
Yeah.
It does
will we
look
see
good.
it next week? When?
You will. Monday.
Oh, okay.
And it looks good. For those tuning in, I did see that Paul goes a little deeper and he tries to make Sonny his next target.
Oh,
here we go.
So, and there's a lot. And darn that Jade. She actually uploaded that tape into Claire's or Theo's YouTube account.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
And Abe is going to get an eyeful next week.
Oh, boy. Well, that's they're touching on real life because I've had two people that I know have had to get off social media, and it's kind of because she's kind of hacking, right? She's hacked his account, or she's gotten in there.
Yeah.
So it's real life, and people need to be made aware.
People are going to be made aware, and then she's aligning herself with Trip.
Oh.
Which
I feel bad for Kayla.
That Trip guy, he is so good looking.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he is.
He came out with his shirt off about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, let's do this more often.
Yes.
Casey Hutchinson.
It's been a long day, David. Don't you start.
Your exams haven't started yet.
Yeah, well, Casey, get in line, because I thought he was pretty hunky as well. He's blonde hair and blue-eyed. Yeah, he's.
Yes, I only wish him the best lifting those weights.
Yes.
So we got a lot to look forward
to on days next week.
Yep. Those are a couple of the hints what's happening next week.
Okay.
And so we're going to leave days.
Okay, and guys, I'm going to leave as well. It's been fun. Lots of fun.
Let us know about Monday, Carolyn.
Okay, I will. And our next.
And I gave you the information.
Okay. Sounds good. So the next is going to be is it the 22nd?
Monday night at 10.
Monday night at 10. Okay.
It's just the interview, and that's it. We're not doing the soap show.
Okay.
It's just the interview.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, guys, we'll have a great weekend, and we'll touch base soon. And thanks for all the listeners. Okay. Bye for now.
Alrighty, bye.
Bye, Carolyn.
Bye. Bye.
I just love Carolyn.
Okay, Casey. Yeah, she is a nice lady. Okay, Casey.
All right.
Get on your GH horse.
All righty. We have
lots
to discuss about.
Do you like Anna and Alex? How that went about?
The story with Anna and Alex, when they brought her back for those month and a half, 2 months, the story ran its course perfectly. I thought it didn't last too long, and it wasn't too short. But when I heard she escaped, I was like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously,
Yep, she's back
we're
today.
Done. I think fans are done with Anna and Alex, and, I think, the All My Children fans were kind of like, oh, that's cute, let's move on. The General Hospital fans are like, who is this lady? Let's just move on from Anna, Alex.
But, yeah, she was on today, and she's trying to get one. She's going to take Valentine out of custody. She's going to escape. She wants him to escape with her.
So is this the end of Valentine?
What? That was today.
Because, to my knowledge, James Patrick Stewart, who plays Valentine, is not a contract cast member. He's actually recurring.
He is recurring?
So yes, he's recurring.
I don't know if it's his end. I didn't know he's not. He's not contract?
I researched it and I couldn't find it to where he was contract. So to my knowledge and research, he is recurring.
I saw nothing that he's leaving, but that was he made a video message to Charlotte saying that he will be back.
Well, maybe they could just write him out for a couple of months.
They might. And
they've done that with, a million characters.
Yeah, they have. So I don't know any more than you do right now on that. It's hard for me to look up actual things.
Well, and GH is a very hard soap to get a hold of and learn stuff about. They like to keep their stuff under wraps.
All right. Now, did we cover... Let's go back a little. Were you a little disappointed with the ball?
I mean, there were parts where I was like, oh, this is the same nurse's ball, it's fun. I was disappointed about 3 things. No, actually about 2. One, it wasn't as hyped up as it's been previous years. And I just felt like the mood, when I was watching those episodes, it didn't seem like the actors themselves were having a fun time. It didn't, the GH actors, when it comes to ball season, they usually try to make it seem like it's a real event. They want the fans to have fun, and I didn't get that feeling. I didn't get that vibe. And second, it was missing what makes the nurse's ball the nurse's ball. We love and laugh seeing Lucy end up in her underwear every year, and we love and we laugh seeing these little antics that make the ball the ball. The only good part of the episodes that invoked the nurse's ball was the Morgan-Ava pill switch reveal. And that wasn't even in the ball itself. That was the side note drama that happens every year. But overall, it wasn't a fun ball. I kind of almost snoozed off and dozed off towards the end.
I like the numbers. I did like the numbers, but I was surprised that Milo didn't show.
Me too.
And that's what made it for the past couple of years. And there's a reason why he didn't show. And if I remember correctly earlier, the actor doesn't live in California anymore.
Yeah, doesn't he live out in Ohio or
someplace? I think he moved out. Yeah. So it was probably difficult to reach him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they had trouble. And I wish Sabrina was mentioned.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I thought when they were on that television screen, maybe her picture would have popped up, or of course I was happy to see Robin's video message. It's just Sabrina who created one of the main songs, and sang it with Epiphany and Emma at the end of each ball for the past, 2-3 years. I just feel, and especially since she was murdered, I just feel like there should have been a little mention, like maybe, somebody gave in Sabrina's honor, or, something like that. Which is so weird because, this current writing regime killed off Sabrina. It's not like somebody did that 6 years ago. It was this regime.
I miss her. She was.
Oh, I do too.
Because she was instrumental.
She was, and there was a lot of stories filled up for that character, I feel.
I was just thrown. That was one of the saddest parts for me, and that's why I was a little disappointed. But I'm sure it was probably thought about. You know, things go fast, and sometimes things get left under the car, so to speak.
Mhm. And you know, that I can probably excuse. But the one thing I can't excuse, and I was pretty upset about, is Felicia was there without her husband. I was like, "Where's Mac?"
And he was taking care of Robin.
Yeah, which is, I feel like, you know, they said that, and I'm like the whole time, okay, she's pregnant. She can still do some things for herself. I didn't feel like Robin was going to go out and run a marathon. You know, I just, you know, my mom said that she loved still doing things for herself when she was 8 months pregnant. So I just, and, you know, they could have had him in the video with Robin. Something. Mac needs to be shown more. And that Monday, Tuesday episode of this past week was not enough.
That was nice when they showed him yesterday.
Mhm. But he needs to be shown more.
He needs a story.
Mhm.
We can think about just about everyone needs a story that needs to come on. And it's hard. I bet you it's hard trying to write for everybody.
Well, it is, but, you know, he was the ex-police commissioner, and I feel like there's some story there. So, you know, he knows how to shoot a gun. He knows how to do some action-packed stuff.
Right.
And him and Felicia are married. Are him and Bobby related? I don't think they are. But,
who?
You know, Bobby's all alone, so maybe start a love triangle.
Bobby and Felicia? No, they're not related.
Yeah, so I mean, start a love triangle, Bobby, Felicia, Mac. And, you know, maybe one night storm hits Port Charles and Bobby and Mac get trapped somewhere and they end up kissing. You know, something. Just give Mac something to do.
You want shock TV.
Just give us something. That character needs to be on the canvas just about 3 times a week.
Yeah. So how about your favorite actress, all covered up in gauze?
Oh, Mara West, she gives me life. I mean, even under all those bandages, she deserves an Emmy. She just plays.
She does. She can bring it home.
Yeah, and those whole confrontation scenes. Oh my goodness! It's just when when her characters get angry, Mara West is like, okay, I'm going to do angry on crack and really give it to you. And I feel like she heightens everybody's acting when her scenes like that happen.
That would be. She really knows how to bring it home. So what do you think? Today, it was she had like the Grim Reaper in form of Ava went to Ava and says, "You don't have to fight anymore. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. Everything's going to be okay." And, yeah, she was all dressed in white. So Ava flatlined today at the very end. And Kiki's watching,
Oh my goodness.
and Sunny and Carly are watching. So that's how they left that today.
See, I love Mara, and I love Ava, but if I'm being real story-wise, it's time to let that character be written out, and for Mara to either A, get her own primetime show, just saying, throwing that out there, ABC, wink, wink, hint, hint, or go to another show, because it's the Jeromes have run their course, and both Julian and Ava have reached their max potentials as characters.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, Julian, you can clearly see it. Ava, they've got her burned, and, if you're going to write a hospital drama, you need to be realistic, and the reality is those burns will take years for her body to recover. And it's nothing you can send her off to a French doctor and she comes back in 2 months and she's magically the same Ava. It's time. I mean, if you're going to have a character in this state and write a hospital show, it's time for that character to go.
Well, according to what I read, she's not going anyplace.
I read that too, and I don't know how can you write a character on the canvas who is burned almost to death? You can't, I don't know, unless General Hospital does a supernatural episode, the character's finished.
Well, I think I don't know how accurate this is, but there's mentioning that there might be a blossoming romance with Griffin.
And that's been rumored also with Carly. And I think Griffin needs a love interest. Or they can do away with him too. Yeah, because that character is becoming dead weight for the show. And his father isn't around. Duke is dead. They still haven't done the story which every fan thinks they're going to do and make Anna his mother. It's just you either make Anna his mother or you give him a love interest or you write him off. And it's that plain and simple. I know people kind of want Amy and Christina to be together, or even, there's been some scenes with Amy and Nathan, but maybe put Amy and Griffin together.
I wonder what's up. Well, I would like to see more meat for Griffin.
Definitely, and I think the actor is fabulous. Just let's give him some more material.
Yeah, give him some meat. But did you see the recent news that came? Well, I got it from Jimmy DePaiva's Facebook.
Yes, and I quickly wrote an article on it, and I couldn't be more happy that man's coming to GH. I love James DePaiva, and I'm so happy he is back in front of the camera for daytime soap.
I am too. I haven't seen him in a while. Well, he was on the Bay.
Yes, he was.
Yep. And he has a knack for it. I remember a little bit of him as Max when I used to watch back then.
Well, what I love is, we get the news of Jimmy's return to daytime hot off the heels of Cassie coming to daytime. So I love that. I love that they're both back in the game.
They're going to be both busy.
Yes, definitely.
That's a good thing. Okay, so we covered our GH. Let's do our YNR. Okay, Casey.
So excited to talk YNR. Bring it to me.
Bring it to you. What about Chloe?
Honestly, I thought she was dead. I know people are going to probably harp on me for that, well, if you've ever watched a soap, I really did think she was dead. Just from the aspect of the character has run its course. It's another one that's done, over with, 9 years Elizabeth Hendrickson has been with that show. And so, I really thought this was her end. But I like that her end, and I haven't seen today, but it appears to be her, Kevin, and Bella reunited as a family. So, I love that the character did not meet her end via suicide.
Right.
I would like a little bit of a more happier ending for Chloe. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see if Kevin will really meet her, unless he already did today. And we'll see.
Yeah. He did. He said goodbye to his family. And they're going to take Greg's exit from there. I think they're both on their way out, so they're both going. I got to tell you, I did know that something fishy was going on because I didn't think it was a suicide because all the pills were around outside, and it didn't look like she swallowed any.
Yeah, that's true.
But she is one that, she's a character that really captured controversy, and I would want her caught. She should go to prison, but I don't know, it's more controversial like this, I suppose.
Well, Jessica Morris, in that interview, talked about feeling sorry for the bad guy and giving them some leniency. And I feel like with Chloe, we can do that, She killed a child murderer. And people are like, oh, Adam did it on accident. Yes, he did, but he also covered it up.
He also covered it up, but he did come forward with it. He did admit it. She doesn't think she did anything wrong. Adam was a lot more remorseful.
And I feel like, I liked what Kevin's been saying about everybody being so hypocritical towards Chloe. Because it's true. I mean, you look at Chelsea, she used to con people out of millions of dollars. You look at Nick,
yeah.
He's done some pretty bad things, and so I like that Kevin's bringing that up.
Yeah. One of the best parts is when Victor told Victoria that she was a hypocrite because she didn't give a damn about Adam. And
yeah, that's true.
I like that part. Says, I didn't kill him. And stop treating me like I did.
And same with Nick, Nick did not care about Adam until it came out of the blue last year, They never cared about Adam. And, Victor never did either. Victor left him behind on that farm with Hope when Victor got his memory back in the 90s, and nobody cared about Adam. I would say the only person who probably did was Nikki.
I felt bad for him. But I think in the end, and I really did like that part with Nick Nick saying that he'd try and help Adam, and how he wanted to look after his son. I think they played that sincerely. It's almost, and Nick admitted he owned his part in not believing in him.
Yeah, I did like that side of Nick. I'm like, at least somebody's willing to own up to it.
He owned it, yeah, and he was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt after that. I mean, when you got a father like that, who do you root for?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you said, everyone's got some color in them. No one is pure white. That's why I like Kane right now. Kane, they put some color into him.
I can't wait until Kane gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Oh,
because I don't. Do you think it really happened though?
Yeah, I mean, I think when Sally did this story, I think she was ready to say, this happened. Because, you know, if we do the same song and dance with Kane being drugged again, then, you know, what's the point of doing a story? You know, what's the point of having stakes on a story? And what's the point of having consequences? You know, we have to move Kane past the story of him getting drugged every 5 years and making it look like he slept with somebody.
Yeah. But they gave him some color, and I don't know. Well, he really doesn't remember it too much.
Yeah, and they've showed us flashes of them kissing and tearing each other's clothes off, but then they flash to them laying in the bed, and we don't know. But the thing is, you know, even if he didn't sleep with Juliet, they still kissed. They still tore each other's clothes off. So I think definitely, you know, with every intention, Kane planned to have sex with this woman and vice versa, and there definitely needs to be some consequences either way.
It's going to come out. It's going to come out sooner or later, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I cannot wait.
Okay, so I guess we're going to call it a night.
All right.
And we covered just about all 4 soaps. And Casey, before we leave, I would like you to give your spiel to the fans.
Alrighty, well, guys, keep watching the soaps. I know I sound like a broken record almost every show, but just keep watching because I know for a fact there are some exciting things that are about to happen on all the soaps. Morgan Fairchild debuts next week on Days. Wyandar, you've got the big Kane reveal about to happen. Bold, who almost shot Quinn, and GH, they're always exciting, and you just got stuff that's going to happen on all 4 soaps soon, so keep watching. Also, you can swing by my Facebook page, Casey Stephen Hutchison, or you can swing by my Twitter at CaseyHutch99, and you can buy my Young and Restless ebook. It's a complete history on the show, and it's only $10, so please swing by, message me, and I'll give you all the details. And have a good night, guys.
Thank you very much, Casey. And I'll talk to you soon.
All righty. Sounds good. Good night.
Good night. And thank you, everyone.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadio.com.